Hi, who am I here with today?
My name is Lena. I'm Braylon's mom.
Okay. Today I'm going to be asking you some questions about your life. So, first off, where are you from?
I am from Lawton, Oklahoma.
And can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Yes, I was actually born in Augsburg, Germany, to two military parents that ended up in Oklahoma. And I have a sister that is 18 months younger than me. And so my childhood was full of me and her and four other siblings. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how life has evolved, like different topics, like about inflation and the military, stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. So, man, inflation. When I was at home in my childhood in Oklahoma before I graduated high school, I remember gas being like 89 cents and 93 cents, which was really cool. I also joined the military at 18. So just growing up in Oklahoma, there was no Navy there. It was actually an Army base that I grew up on. But yeah, I just wanted to do something different. And so I joined the Navy, got to travel the world, started out and living in a totally different country at 19 years old. So, yeah.
That's really interesting. Can you tell me about any historical figures or just any particular people that you found interesting, like throughout your lifetime?
There were actually a couple people that were very influential. Oprah, of course, but for a number of reasons. I guess I started watching TV and talk shows, which were not necessarily all that popular until I was like a teenager. And she was influential just in the fact that she was talking about important things that were super interesting to me and had a diverse audience. And she looked like me, and there was just something about her breaking the barriers and starting stuff new. Another one would be Michael Jordan, and mostly because my dad is from Chicago, and like everything was about the Bulls. But what made him influential for me is that he shifted from basketball to baseball. Of course, he loved golf and everything else, but then also was a leader in business. And I just think he's influenced me in as far as my perspective and the way I look at being able to change and evolve as you get older, and not being confined or boxed into any one thing. So, yeah, those two.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And then can you tell me about some historical events that were very impactful within your life or that shifted your understanding of what goes on in the U.S.?
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. So I already said I'm from Oklahoma. And when I was in high school, actually, in 1995, I was in Oklahoma. And if you know anything about 1995, Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bombing, I was in school, and it was on the news, and it was a really, really big deal. And up until that point, I really didn't think about safety in America. I didn't think about the fact that we could possibly be in danger from the inside of America. And so, yeah, that was my first introduction into terrorism, which sounds crazy now, but yeah, that was internal. And then also 9/11. I had just joined the Navy, and it literally shifted operations in the Navy. It shifted the way that we did deployments, where before that time, we would pull into ports and and go and enjoy places and not necessarily be completely security minded all the way around. But it shifted. My first deployment was on a ship right afterwards. We had to get underway super quick, and we were out to sea without any port visits, actually, for close to 9 months. So, yeah, a couple really big events. Like, when I think back on it now, yeah, it made me more conscious of just my surroundings. And I didn't know that years later I would be in the cybersecurity field in the Navy. And that be like a whole lot of just my way of thinking, like even down to the job that I took. So, yeah, I think it affects me a lot. It affects how I raised and protected my children and taught them and kind of warned them in a sense that everything is, not always as it seems. Yeah.
Thank you for that insight. And lastly, can you give some advice to give students a deeper knowledge of like the appreciation of U.S. history?
Oh, wow. Yes. Well, I'd say the first thing is to know that you are history, that you're making history with your actions, with the way that you treat people, with how you go after your dreams. All of that is making history. So the first thing I would say is you're here in America and you are history, or will be history. And then I'd also say that we can learn so much from our past. We can learn from the mistakes of our past, but also from the mentors of our past. I talked about Oprah, I talked about Michael Jordan, but there's, at least 20, 30 different people that I can think of in my own personal history that have helped and shaped who I am. So, yeah, I would say appreciate history because it'll teach you lots and lots of lessons that you can learn the easy way or an easier way.
Thank you for taking this interview, Miss Alina, or my mom.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.